or hot now?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad that you are joining us for another episode on Unfiltered King Podcast,
Unfiltered.
UKP, where men and women talk to each other, not at each other. Man, I think
Right.
we have a powerful episode tonight. We have a
Yes,
special
sir.
guest that I think you guys are going to love by the name of Diana. You guys get to know all about her throughout the show. Thank you guys for joining, man. Our
Yeah.
community is growing on Facebook. If you haven't joined our community, Unfiltered Kings Podcast on Facebook, that community is growing, I think, well over 300 plus followers. That's
Yeah.
where you'll stay up to date with all our important and upcoming information. Season 1 is in the books. Season 2 is coming up. And so we look forward with that. Also, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And then coming soon, we will be on Twitter for those conversations. And so,
Right.
man, we have a great one tonight. They're not your type, they're your generational trauma pattern. And I do
Woo.
not take credit for those words. You
Mm.
will hear from our special guest, Diana, why she coined those terms, what she means about it. We're just going to delve into that thing, man. So I'm very excited about that topic. They're not your type, they're your generational trauma pattern. So we're going to kind of break that down and hopefully give the audience something to eat tonight. With that being said and done, before we start and jump off things, as always, man, we want to check in on each other as brothers and sisters in this capacity. We want to shout out my boy Frankie. He
Frankie.
had another situation come up where he can't be with us. Always, we know my boy Carlos is going to come in, and then we'll introduce our special guest here. So tonight we'll have Carlos kicking off the vent session, man. Go
All
ahead,
right,
Carlos.
all right, everybody. As you know, we got the vent. On a scale of 1 to 10, you talk about how your day is going. And then give us a little feedback on how it is. It's a chance to really talk about what's going on in your life. So, with that being said, James, tell me how your day went, man.
Bruh. Y'all, I'm gonna say scale of 1 to 10, man. It's a 5 today, man. Like,
Ooh.
my car got hit. Yeah, just got a car, it got hit, but hopefully we can get that worked out. And believe it or not, you guys, I had a Karen I had to kind of put in her place at work over headphones. Yeah, headphones.
Really?
Yeah, headphones. Caught me out the blue. I never thought I would have a conversation on my job about headphones, man. My headphones went out, man. I was getting ready to jump on the call, and I went to her because she does not IT, but she has that stuff like that we need. And I'm thinking it's going to be just a quick trade off, right? So she give me some headphones zipped on the back, and I'm thinking about the call. I get around there, these things are used.
Oh,
no harm, no foul. Maybe that's a mistake, right?
Oh,
Hit her in my in teams. Hey, these are used. Could you bring a new one? Man, she goes off. They work, don't they? And you got to understand. Headphones?
Really?
If GM Financial is concerned about headphones, they do work, right? I'll bring you some ear covers and whatnot. I'm like, and I really didn't even know how to respond. I'm like, headphones. Like, I'm in my mind, I'm like, James, your headphones. And she brought them around that they didn't even fit. And I'm like, ma'am, they got crusty stuff. I'm like,
oh Lord.
let's just get some new headphones in there. Like, I'm like, can you let's just get some new headphones in there? And so she eventually did it and whatnot. But I had to kind of scoot her back, and that kind of, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but it's like when you insult my intelligence, and I love my white brothers and sisters, but there can be this assumption: are you doing it from an ill place?
Yeah.
Right? And it really felt like she was just trying to. I'm finna trying to handle you. So yeah, that's a 5, man. But things get better. But that kind of rubbed me wrong. And like I said, I'm dealing with this car situation, so hopefully I get it fixed. So thanks for allowing me to share.
man. You need a counseling session after that, bro. All right. Now with me, I'm gonna put myself at about a 7 or 8.
Okay. Why you're 7?
Man, I'm training at work now. And in my training, it is so easy. I thought it was gonna be hard. It was so easy. I mean, I'm watching the people that you know how people say, "Oh, I can do your job," and I'm watching people doing my job while I'm training another area, and they struggling. Now, I'm not happy that they're struggling. Okay, yeah, I am a little bit, but okay, a little bit. But I was appreciative to understand that I'm appreciated in my job.
Yeah.
And so what I'm doing, I'm on the PC now. So I'm the whole day I'm just on the PC. Ain't got to worry about running around. I actually got to leave at 3 o'clock, not 4:40, 5:50, 6 o'clock. So man, for me, that's perfect right there. I
Okay.
ain't got to been on that. I love it.
Glad your
Now,
day went smooth, my boy.
I'm trying to make it happen. Now, here comes the good part. The good stuff. Hey, how was your day?
Yeah, so my day was I'm at like an 8 today because I got my hair done,
Oh,
right? So
what?
it's always good when you're
Hey,
able
hey,
to
let me
go
know
and
the
get that
pound
fresh
told again.
blowout. You know what I'm saying? You see that?
There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's always good to be able to refresh
yeah.
throughout the day. So I'm at 8. I don't really have any complaints about today. Today was blissful for me. It
Okay,
was
okay.
a really good day.
Well, I'm glad.
Really
I'm
good.
glad. Definitely glad to have you guys, and really loved it. And again, we thank you guys. Remember the vent. Just open up. Remember, breathe in, breathe out, and there you have it.
I definitely need it. Man, appreciate that, man. As I keep saying again, man, I love that part of the show, man.
Yeah.
And we encourage you guys to do that with your friends. Whether you're
Mhm.
hanging out, whether you're talking about something serious, you can be dealing with some things and tolerating and don't understand that it can get in the way of what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're having fun, you kind of escaping it instead of dealing with it. So take that time, let each other vent for real. Not that okay, how you doing? I'm fine. Like let's open up and really kind of talk about our day, man. And so I really do look forward to that, and I'm glad we are able to share in that capacity. They're not your type. They're your generational trauma pattern. Now I'm gonna do a little bragging on our guest here, and then I'm gonna turn it over to her and let her kind of talk because I can't wait to get into the topic. In social media, you have to kind of watch what you say, right? Because things get to be taken any type of way. But when I tell you there are some things, I speak poetically because I'm a poet. Now, sometimes they can be misconstrued in a different way, but I digress. When I tell you, I felt like an angel has been on my page because
Mhm.
not only is just a lot of times when people hear that they think about physical beauty, but to me,
Mhm.
when you have words that minister,
Yeah.
and I mean, and I'm not putting this on Dana because I haven't spoke to her on that. But when words minister to me, that's a very intimate moment, if you will, right? Has
Mhm.
nothing to do with sometimes, well, that's sexual. It's like that's not it. So I find my words using terms because I write in that way. And so when I tell you, I felt like I found an angel because it was almost like some of the stuff that she was posting was really on time for me. And like
Mhm.
I told you, Dana, like before, like a lot of time I think people see my content and they don't
Hmm.
think subconscious or conscious, hey, he's always good. Nah,
Yeah.
James go through. So for me to find something that catches my eye,
Yeah.
man, that's big for me. Even
That's
to
pretty
the point
cool.
I shared it to Carlos and him, and I'm like, man, I'm just gonna have
Yeah.
to ask if she want to come on the show, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what we have here today in Diana, man. And I'm so thankful that she is able to join us in this podcast. Like I said, even the title of our episode tonight came from her page. So I encourage you, if she shares her information, to follow her. But
Yeah.
at this time, I want to turn it over to Diana, kind of let her introduce herself formally to our audience, as far as what she wants to share and things of that sort. And then after that, man, we're just going to jump into this thing and have a powerful conversation. So
Yes.
without
Yes.
further ado, Diana, we'll give you the floor.
All right. So yeah, thank you both for allowing me to come into your space and kind of speak on this topic here. So essentially, again, my name is Diana. I'm originally from Bradenton, Florida. If you don't know where that is, I'll just say Tampa area because a lot of people don't know where I live. It's a very, very, very small town, area code
Okay.
941. So, born and raised in Bradenton, Florida. I graduated high school in '08. So, and then 2 years later, I decided to join the world's finest Navy.
Mm.
So I joined the Navy as a E1. So 12 years later, I commissioned as a officer. So here I am now as a lieutenant junior grade in the world's finest Navy. I'm a mother of one. I have one daughter. Her name is Renaya, and she's the light of my life. I love her with
Okay.
everything in me, and she
Okay.
is a huge motivation for me as I continue to strive forward to this day.
Okay.
Okay.
And Renaya is 9. Is that correct?
Yeah, she's 9.
Okay. Well, definitely send our love from her big brothers to her.
Beautiful princess.
Thank you.
We believe in overprotecting our daughters. You know what I mean?
Most
I don't have a daughter,
Yes.
but look, now you in the family. Look, we coming. You know,
Make a phone call.
we have our own Calvary. Trust me, you're in the family now. Don't worry about it.
Right.
We'll get there.
She'll meet us later, but she in the family. You know, let somebody buck if they want to. You know what I mean?
They want to.
But look, as I said this off the air, and I will say it on the air again first. Thank you for your service in any capacity.
Happy to serve.
I think that goes without knowing, and I think also when people see young people, I know it's automatically assumed in our society to respect elderly people, but I think that's a whole nother piece within itself. The challenges and the rigors that our young people, have, especially straight out of high school and things of that sort, that's a different type of struggle.
Right.
So I look at that across the board, right? Not you have to get so much somewhere and then, you know. So thank you for your service, and again, thank you for being here. I want to kind of transition now into this topic here. They're not your type; they're your generational trauma pattern. And like I said, there's a number of amazing stuff on your page, but this one kind of stuck out for me. And you know, as a creator, my mind started running. But what I wanted to do is kind of sit back on the porch, like James said, calm down. And I really want to kind of let you jump off the porch, so to speak, to kind of see where that came from. Where did you want to take that? What's your meaning behind it? And then kind of let us as guys kind of follow your process and kind of jump in there. So with that being said and done, would you mind kind of busting this topic, if you will, open for where it resonate from and where you want to go with that topic, if you will?
Okay, yeah. So I've been in and out of therapy pretty much all my life, essentially. So recently in one of my therapy sessions, my therapist, we were talking about essentially what guides you to your relationships, where it would be friendships, courtship, right? Like what drives you to choose the type of person that you choose, whether you decide to stay with them or not. Like what latches you essentially to that person. So when you think about generations, right, we're talking about like your mom's mom, her mom, you know, your dad's dad, you know, all those things. So generationally, there's certain things that trauma bonds us from each generation. So for my lineage, it was substance abuse, essentially. So my lineage indulged in alcohol like crazy, right? So personally, I had a partner at one point who was essentially abusing alcohol like to the extreme. So we were going to counseling to kind of like figure out the dynamic of the why. And when I told her about my family, you know, the background of like alcoholism in my family, she said, well, you essentially, you know, he's not your type. You're just latched to him because of trauma from your parents, essentially, and their parents. And I was like, what do you mean? Well, she's like, well, he indulges overly in alcohol. Your parents did something similar. Your grandparents did something similar. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't necessarily, when she said it, I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. You're right. Like I literally grew up in that dynamic. So it was like comfort for me knowing that essentially no matter what, I'm gonna stay there because I'm used to that. It was something that was familiar for me.
Wow.
So that is essentially part of that trauma of that pattern, because it went from my mom's mom to my mom's mom down to me, you know what I'm saying? In my family aspect. And that's essentially where that pattern kind of came up from. So, and then I'm also in school for psychology. So just kind of learning about generational trauma, period, like anxiety, depression, all those things also were a part of the lineage as well. Obviously, for my mother and my grandmother, that wasn't something that was spoken about, right? the way the world is operating now, it's more highlighted. So it's like, okay, that makes sense to me, because as somebody who's dealt with mental health, you get what I'm saying, and being able to speak about it and have to go to therapy to kind of, heal in a sense from that type of trauma as well. It was easier to speak on it because I'm somebody who's actually gone through it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Man.
I say this all the time as a certified life coach. First of all, thank you.
Yeah.
I do not think people understand the power of transparency.
Yeah.
We love our media and social media. We love other people's stories when we're not in our comfort zone. But to stand and speak in your own capacity of your story is something powerful within itself. And I don't care where you at in that process. So as I always say, thank you for that. Number two, there was so much there to unpack, and I want to kind of go back to the root, because you said something that was so influential, generational first.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when we in our Black communities, specifically when we talk about generational, it's always highlighted the good, right? And my grandma learned how to cook. It's the good things, but if we transparent, we unfiltered it, right? Also, part of that generational negativity is that we put sweet stuff up under the rug. It's a known, unknown fact that we don't talk about that. No, even when we're at the family union, when we living in the same house, when we walk around, we be quiet. We see and we don't see. We even sometimes teach our children.
Yeah.
See and don't see.
Yes.
So that learned behavior by osmosis is real. Because keep in mind, the people that you name, this usually come from influential people who give you the first community of discipline.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's so important, because a lot of time we rush out in society, and I talked about this in my presentation on mental wellness. We love to judge people, but we don't go to eighth rail. Where did that come from? Doesn't make it right. But if we really want to understand it, again, like my prime example, you teach a person to be racist from birth to 18, and 19 they become a racist and shoot somebody. Well, they wrong, but where did they really come from?
Yeah.
So do we really want to get to the root of it? And I think a lot of times that's why I really love this topic. It's like that first part, generational. Now we put trauma in there. Hey, we ain't talking about, hey, you was in the Navy, he was in the Navy, so I joined it. We ain't talking about you went to Graham, they went to Graham. So now we're talking about the trauma that's passed now. Intentionally and unintentionally. And like you said, and by no means will I speak on your story, so just jump in here. We're unfiltered. But to see these broken patterns, and that's why I said again, when we talked about last week, Carlos, be careful when we use these clinical terms.
Exactly.
Someone just going through something, that's not trauma, in all due respect. People have a weakness or imperfect, that's not trauma, right? Like you have to really go and study. And I'm so glad you said something. You went to counseling.
Yes.
One minute. Soapbox 1 minute. My Black people, let's normalize going to counseling.
Got to.
Let's please go to therapy, please.
From the people who hurt us, intention, unintention. Some don't even know they hurt us. Some hurt us and don't care, no matter what. Let's quit looking for the solutions in the place we found the problems.
Yeah.
The same way when our bodies hurt, and there are people who've been trained for these things. Guess what? People have been trained to help us heal here. So I was so encouraged when you said, in dealing with that generational trauma, notice what she said. I didn't just, I'm good today. You know, I got my baby girl. No, I got to do some healing. I got to do some digging. And that's why when we use that word trauma, I don't think we understand the deep-seated impact that goes, because we never even give it a thought. And quite honestly, sometimes we don't even think about it until it's late on in our lives. Like we was a functioning dysfunction in our trauma. It was almost like we was immune to it until later on when life started lifing. Like you said, in a relationship, love, oh, wait a minute. Where'd this come from? That's the power of cancer. Now they can go back and, oh, you know where this come from?
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine if the world, again, not peering into your business. Oh, damn, you picked the wrong person. That's easy to see on surface.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Very.
And so if you could talk about, and I'll say whatever you're comfortable in sharing, because I believe when you open up, I don't want to kind of peer. I want to kind of let you layer it, if that makes sense, and full
Right.
disclosure to our audience. But if you could talk about what that trauma looked like at a time before the mate, what that looked like, whether you recognize it or not, and then if you can also recognize what that transition looked like, for as once you recognized it, man, I got to get some help.
Yeah. So essentially, you know, the military, right? Obviously we drink, right?
Okay.
So, essentially what it was for me at the time, for me, it was a coping mechanism for me when I was drinking, right?
Okay.
Just doing what everybody else was doing at the time. But I realized, I didn't realize at the time how detrimental it was to me until there was one time where I had probably drink too much and some stuff transpired, and I had told myself, I was like, okay, because I probably could have ended my life that night, essentially.
Wow.
When the scenario went down, and I was sitting there and I was like, what is wrong with me? You get what I'm saying? Like, why am I always picking up and drinking like it's nothing, in a sense? But what I realized, I wasn't ready to face what was in the deepest, darkest parts of me, essentially. So I would drown that out. I didn't want to sit and think on everything that transpired, you know, in my childhood, early adulthood. And then one day when that happened, I just said, okay, I think I need to essentially go get help, right? And my partner at the time too, you know, it was just over the top, you know, like we were just out here just living life on the wild side, essentially. And I stopped, honestly. I was just like, okay, I need to alleviate this dynamic. I didn't start therapy yet, but in my head, I was like, I know essentially that's going to come. But I just started simmering down on what I was indulging in. And obviously my partner, it increased on their end. And I would just like tell them like you gotta, you know, slow it down, simmer it down, you know. But what I realized, what I was even doing for my partner was, I was making them want to do it more. Because essentially, somebody who wants to stop will stop, right?
True.
And then if you're trying to make somebody stop doing something that they're not ready to stop doing, they're just gonna go and do it. You just won't know they're doing it.
Right.
And it just created a whole bunch of chaos when trying to tell my partner to, like, okay, like, you need to chill too, you know. So back in right around COVID time frame, I was on a 10-month deployment, and my daughter probably was like 5, I think, at the time, you know. And I went home, you know, like a little reunion to see her or whatever after my deployment. And I was telling my partner at the time, I was like, you know, I once I, you know, get to wherever I'm going, I think we should go to therapy. And my partner was like, oh, no, you know, I need it, whatever. But I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go because I know that I need to figure out my why in this dynamic, whether, you know, you're gonna want to go or not. And essentially, I started working a job that made me stay at home, right?
Okay.
And in this job, it was I was so used to just going, you know, just going, but I had to sit. And every day from 7 to 3, I would just be sitting there, like sitting, and I'm like, my mind is just going. And it put me in a really, really dark place. Um, like it was really dark to like where I was having thoughts that I know I probably shouldn't have had. So I went to mental health and I was like, hey, like I think I'm depressed, right? Essentially, that's what I told them. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't really eating. I was very irritable, like, and so I started going to a therapist to talk about myself and like, my childhood dynamic and things of that sort. And that's when the whole alcoholism part had manifested into that scenario. And I told myself that something was gonna have to give. So as I'm going through therapy and I'm talking about everything that I'm talking about, there's still a whole bunch of chaos going on in my head. And I really just got on my knees and I started praying. I was like, God, I don't know essentially what I need to do to kind of figure out this avenue, but I really could use some help in one, taking it away from myself, and if possible, helping my partner at the same time. So God, he really set me down. I mean, I'm talking about,
man, come
like,
Hey,
like
you'll do it.
literally set me down.
Yeah.
And I tell people even now to this day, I'm like, you know what? One thing that I learned and I'm so grateful for it is having a job to where that I could literally sit and go into the deepest, darkest parts of myself that I never wanted to go into because I didn't have the time. Because I was always go, 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 go. So I didn't really have time to necessarily think on what was going on in my life. So when he set me down and I literally was able to view myself in a different life, self-reflecting, that is when I realized the whole generational trauma pattern. And like I said, when me and my partner started going to therapy together, essentially, that's where it all blew up.
My God.
That's beautiful right there. That's amazing. And thank you again for sharing.
My God. Thank you.
Yeah.
Unfiltered Kings podcast. They're not your type, they're your generational trauma pattern. We go there. And we make no amends that we have to stand up and be that person. I think it's so popular to hear the other person, and what they doing. But when it comes home, to be able to put that stuff out there again, not necessarily care about what people think, but hey, somebody's out there going to listen to this and they going to get hope. Oh, somebody else is going to become like, oh, someone else do go through this. Oh, and I can do it too. And if that happens, to God be the glory. So I can't thank you enough. I know, Carlos, you had a question, but man, you're going to hear me say that again. I really don't think in this day and age where people just so watch screens and think it's the other person is so easy. But when it's personal, remember, Carlos, we always talk about living in these walls between judgment and vulnerability.
Yeah.
If I be vulnerable, you're going to judge me. To avoid being judged, I don't be vulnerable. And these walls sometimes will shut in on you. But my God, when you can find a peace down the middle and say, I don't care whether I be judged, but I am going to be vulnerable to get my breakthrough. When you can divide those walls and don't care about what the world says, man, that's some powerful stuff down there. So I can't thank you enough for sharing that. Carlos, you had a question?
Yes.
Yeah. First and foremost, that was beautiful. The fact that you showed that you yourself saw that there was something going on, and you yourself took that effort to take that time. And a lot of times we want people to tell us, but when you can see it for yourself, you can better talk about it. Another thing that you said that you brought up some really good points, that you showed that what you were dealing with wasn't something that you liked. It wasn't even a type, but it was some factors that were similar. So what it showed me listening to you, that you just fell into what was similar. It didn't necessarily mean that it was even your type. You just fell into something that was similar. And that's a beautiful way of saying that. So my question to you is, as you begin to process it and go to counseling, during that process, did you ever think that and I'm gonna speak from an artist point of view. Did you ever think about, you know what? I think I got it from here. Or did you keep evaluating yourself until you felt like you were at a place where you could actually that you kept needing the help? Or did you ever think about, okay, I think I had enough help with the counseling?
So essentially, how I look at healing is we're never really all the way healed, right?
Good.
And there's a bunch of trauma in my life that I was dealing with. So it wasn't necessarily just the alcoholism, going through psychology as a major. I learned a lot of stuff through that too, and I was like, dang, that sounds like me, like a people pleaser, right? You get what I'm
Got
saying?
it.
Like that was me from like early on in my childhood till maybe I was like 31. I'm 36
Okay.
now, so you
Okay.
imagine the timeline of that? You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it was essentially just going through the process and hearing from other people, like my therapist, or reading something in one of my classes. It kind of helped bring it all full center. And
Mm.
I still feel in me that there's still more work that needs to be done, you know.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
so that's essentially why I'm still in it. Because like at one point I was like, oh, I'm healed, you know what I'm saying? But then I wasn't, so I
Wow.
had that fear that I was just going to revert back. So I was like, you know what? Let me just keep going and keep digging to see what else will come about, so I
Wow.
can kind of understand myself. Because my therapist asks me all the time, like, "Who are you?" You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And or like, what is a normal you look like? And
Mm-hmm.
for somebody who's had to mask
Mm.
their self pretty much my whole life, it's kind of, it's like, dang, I don't even necessarily really know who I am,
Right.
so that is another reason why I kept going, because I'm still trying to figure out who I am, because
Mm-hmm.
masking my who I was as a person, you know since early on in my life, I didn't necessarily really knew what that looked like, so it was even
Yeah.
harder to stop going, because I'm like, okay, let's like, what would I normally really look like, or how would I normally operate throughout my days, if a lot of the trauma was not buried, but like essentially taken off of me,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense.
Wow. Thank you.
Man, that was,
Wow.
man,
Yeah.
you man, I hope y'all got these nuggets, man. This is one of the
Man.
podcast episode where you, like, literally, you should be taking notes,
Yeah.
right? Like, this is real good information,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people have to hide, and they cannot even. I was talking at last night with
Mm-hmm.
some of my frat brothers. It's a shame that some people can't even talk about these real conversations with the people that they're around, called family and
Mm-hmm.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So when we talk about that,
you
man, as I
can.
said, we
Mm-hmm.
so judge people. And I'm glad, I love your question. I
Mm-hmm.
even love your answer even better, Dana. People see the alcohol. That's just a tool.
Exactly. Yeah.
But again, we
Yeah.
all want to be, oh, she's
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. That's that's the tool. It's so
Mm-hmm.
much deeply rooted. And I
Mm-hmm.
love something you said, is that
Yes.
I have to find myself back. Could you imagine having already walked to the other side of the world, only to realize that you got to go
Mm-hmm.
back to square one?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
think about that. Like, you already done the action, and you done got the experience from walking here and there, and
Mm-hmm.
then you realize everything you learned was a mistake.
Yeah.
You got to go
Mm-hmm.
back and take that
Yep.
same visit,
Wow.
walk, journey, and relearn. Cause see, when I was growing up and seeing mom and dad and them, like I tell you, and I'll put some of me out there. See, when I
Mm-hmm.
saw domestic violence and verbal and
Mm-hmm.
physical abuse, that was just
Right.
how mom and dad and them communicated.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
see, we don't get to say that because that sound, but that's real. 5 years old, I don't see anything wrong. I don't have a
Mm-hmm.
conscience,
Yeah.
Right.
right? You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
agree with something, but we got to understand it. So
Yeah.
it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a learned behavior.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
Learn
that's why it's so
behavior.
important to go get some real help. Don't let
Mm-hmm.
little my aunt, I love my auntie, I love uncle or my friend or my
Mm-hmm.
sorority sister. They don't know what they talking about.
Showed up.
They're
Right.
trying to, in all due respect, they may mean well, have the right idea, wrong process. We talk about that all the
Mhm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
But what they essentially some can do is trying to take your experience and put it into their own and probably try to
Yes.
give feedback.
That work.
I
Yeah.
wish no, it don't work that way. I need somebody just like if I have a problem with my heart, Carlos, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But Carlos, I'm gonna go to the doctor.
Yes.
I know you care about me, Carlos, and you're my boy, but Carlos, take me to the hospital
Take
where
two
them
ass.
folks
Mm-hmm.
been trained for it. And we have to start normalizing stuff like this. Right?
Yeah.
I love something that you also said where you said that you had to mask it on a daily basis. So you had to
Mm-hmm.
make a resolve with that fork in the road.
That's so
Mm-hmm.
true.
You couldn't afford to say I'm healed,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Because
That was beautiful.
I am relearning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the more I'm learning, the more I'm digging backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I still got to live life. And I got a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I got a career. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
like really think about that. Like that sounds good, right? But think about that. Like that's a day-to-day thing. And I have to have these
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities. Look back here, look forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say we've learned to say things that just sound good. Oh, don't worry about it.
Right.
It's in your past. Now, my past is where the answer is at.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, my past is where I misconstrued what I thought was an
Mm-hmm.
answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, my past is still some more clues back there. And then
Yeah.
my final powerful thing, and if you could kind of give an idea, again,
Mm-hmm.
by all means it's up to you what you show, but the idea when you said where to start when I go back.
Yeah.
I think about it. There is an age where I don't even remember, wasn't thinking like that. It's hard to think
Right.
what I was thinking like at 5. I
Yeah.
don't know what I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
at 5, 10, 15. It's just a certain age where you go back where you just remember all you could, but to
Right.
go further, like how was that challenging and what did that look like with you as you start kind of peeling back those layers while trying to still live in real time, if that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So essentially I think originally where it all started was maybe probably was like 5 or 6. So my mother, she worked a lot, she tried to raise me and my siblings, but she
Mm-hmm.
worked a night shift. So essentially my oldest sister was the one who was always home with us, so we were kind of
Mm-hmm.
like watching ourselves in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the time the environment was at the time I thought it was a okay environment, right? Because you're being watched by your older sister, um but she was bringing like people in there that probably a 5 or 6 year old probably shouldn't be around
Mm-hmm.
while your mom is at work.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a lot of like abuse going on or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
essentially we ended up being taken right from my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up living with my grandmother, and she took us in. And there was a lot of mental and emotional and physical abuse that had transpired, and we were going to therapy to kind of like, like it's like 1 minute we're with our mom and we're being snatched and we're in another location. So
Yeah.
trying to understand essentially what's going on. Like, wait, where's my
Mm-hmm.
mom? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is where you live now. Your mom
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
wherever your mom is.
Yeah.
So as a 5-year-old, it was confusing because it's like, wait, well, I mean, but I don't live here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know you're my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? I know you're my grandfather. I know these are my siblings, but the missing piece was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to that time frame where it all began, where all the abuse and all that first started,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, which is what kind of built me in who I am today. Because you have to all of that mental, physical, and emotional abuse was for me personally, it was a lot. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Being a 5 or 6 year old, essentially being told that, you're not going to be nothing, you're ugly, like all these things that, you know, a 5 and 6-year-old probably shouldn't be hearing that early on, you know what I'm saying, in life. And I think people physical abuse is bad, right? But the scarring goes away. But the mental and the emotional abuse, it stays, because you're gonna constantly hear all those things all the time. You're never gonna forget those things. Like even now, like as I'm talking to you right now, I can still hear.
Yeah.
You know,
Jess talked
some of the
about
things
that
that was told to me, you know what I'm saying, you know, throughout, you know what I'm saying, my life and my childhood. And although I had a not so great childhood, I am very grateful for the lessons because I don't think I would be where I am today if I wasn't being told, you know, and it's crazy right to even say this, but some of the things that I were told, to me, it kind of motivated me in a sense to be like, you know what, that sounds great that you think that I'm going to be this way or this person, but I'm going to prove all of you wrong, and I'm going to soar it as high as I can soar. But at the same time, it's I sometimes I still don't feel accomplished, even though I've accomplished so much. Because it was never good enough from 5 to 18, you know. Now from 18 to now 36, I still don't feel like I've done enough, because the recognition, the good old, oh, you're doing great, all the admirations and accolades that a person should receive from their family because they're doing so well, they were very far in between.
The next time you see someone existing, be careful before you judge.
Exactly.
I'm sitting here with another level of humility, of respect, and just for disclosure, for the audience to know, I'm looking at her bio. You won't find that on a bio.
Yeah.
You won't find that on a resume.
Right.
What are we allowing our conversations to be, family and friends? See, this young lady, before she got on, she because she's credentialed in the Navy, she said, no, just Diana.
Yeah.
Right? She's earned those credentials, but she said, no, just Diana. And unfortunately, people who say they know us only sometimes recognize us when we get credentials.
Credentials. That's so true.
Well, you know the credential. It's a travesty if you call someone a family or friend, not an associate, someone you share work, but if you call them a family or friend and you don't know who they are based on their first name, like you don't know them, right? And so as I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and again, I say again, thank you so much for sharing layers of your story, right? I wanted our audience to really think about something she said from 5 to 18.
Yeah.
What she could remember. I still have a scar on my body to this day. And I say this to resonate, right? Because we want to normalize this. This is not, oh, poor Diana. No, this is a testimony. Right.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. The things weren't good, but this is a good thing. We're in a good place.
Yeah.
We still got a long way to go. So this is not a pity party. So I say this as to relate. I'm getting ready to be 46, Monday? My sister and I. And there's a scar still on my face that people think is a mole or what have you from some of the things I went through when I was little. So it resonated with me when you said there are still things even today that when you talk about it, you hear that ring. You hear that name. You see that whole profile. And I paint that picture because it shows such an ugly world we live in. We judge people, and I used to be bad at it, shooting the dozens and whatnot, until God matured me. You know, what if they're not smiling?
Yeah.
What if that's not the one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Right.
sometimes some of us, we intentionally
Mm-hmm.
hurt people,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? So for her to sit at 30, for you to sit at 36 down, I say her like you're not here. For you, for you to sit at 36, how many people out there who run from their trauma because that's the only way they won't hear it?
Yeah.
It's not changed. It's not here, and that's why I hate when people. I'm good. I'm there. A real man, a real one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a telltale sign. You got some more
Mm-hmm.
work to do.
Yeah.
When I see all that, the long paragraphs, and I'm this, and I'll never. You got some more healing to do
Mm-hmm.
because you're trying to convince yourself,
Mm-hmm.
baby boy, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
World sees through that.
Right.
And I'm so
Mm-hmm.
thankful you being transparent that look, even when I hear the word, when I hear the
Mm-hmm.
thought, when I talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that you found your power in it, well, okay, I'll think, look, as I said, this is not a
Mm-hmm.
religious podcast, but we are believers.
Mm-hmm.
All things
Amen.
work together for the glory of God according to his will.
Right.
And you said so important. Okay, I
Amen.
had self-revelation. I would
Mm-hmm.
go get counseling, but God. I had
Mm-hmm.
to go and get him too.
But God.
Yeah.
And God saw
Mm-hmm.
all of that, which he
Mm-hmm.
already knew, but he saw your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's
Mm-hmm.
important, man. We try, and I'm gonna say this, Carlos, you can back me up. We so quick trying to take God out of everything, so we won't have
Woo.
no accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do our own way. So
Yeah.
we can do what's comfortable
Right.
for us. So we can do our microwave. I don't want to go grocery shopping. You might gotta go grocery shopping,
Mm-hmm.
bring it home, stir it, measure it, put it in the. No, I can just go and put it in the oven. We want that quick
Mm-hmm.
method
Ooh, yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
Then when we take God about, and I love that to be a part of your real testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
self-revelation within me. Yeah, I ain't in Canada, but this ain't going right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Right.
go get the help. He put
Mm-hmm.
that there just like any other doctor. But the part about
Mm-hmm.
it is, God,
Mm-hmm.
you can now have to do what these imperfect people can do.
Mm-hmm.
But he only did that, like you said, you had to welcome that in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so many times, Diana and Carlos, we get so tired of human beings doing us wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
We quit believing that God cares.
Don't take
We
it there.
start
Take
we
it.
start
Right.
calling God.
Take it. Yes.
God, you see this.
Mm-hmm.
Think about 5 to 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If you was
Mm-hmm.
really listening, we respect privacy and all that, but you can
Man.
surmise there was some. You tell me
Yes.
if I'm wrong, I'm out of line at any time. We unfiltered.
Yeah.
We hold each other accountable, but you can surmise.
Yes.
You see where I'm
Very
going?
clear. Very clear.
You know, we just button up right now, but there were some other.
Mm-hmm.
And that 5 to 18, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Mm-hmm.
that counts.
Yeah.
So from 5 to 18, and then she lived her life again, double that to 36.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the
Mm-hmm.
point right now, baby girl said, hey, I still don't feel like I'm coming. I'm looking at her resume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Girl, you make me want to get off this podcast. I'm like, I shouldn't even be sitting here with you. You know what I mean?
You got
Publish
nothing to go
that's
for.
about it. You know what I mean? But that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
couldn't nobody but God take you through that, right?
Mm.
And
Right.
you said something that was important. I was thinking about when Paul said, I've been shipwrecked, I've been beaten, I've been in jail, I've been through all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Then Paul said something that blew my mind. When I first started learning the Bible, it blew my mind. Like, come on, Paul.
Yeah.
Come on now. I counted all joy. Wait a minute, Paul.
Yeah.
How did you find? He didn't say happiness.
Mm-hmm.
He
Right.
said joy.
Yeah.
But I thought about when you said what you said. Happiness is contingent on circumstance. So no, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Mm-hmm.
like it. My joy is when I found a lesson and my purpose in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't say I
Mm-hmm.
found happiness. Happiness is circumstantial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson learned is a joy. Paul was speaking from the standpoint of he can ready to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Count that
Right.
all joy. And I don't want people to miss that in your testimony, right? And
Mm-hmm.
even if you want to
Mm-hmm.
elaborate that, you definitely can with it. Because I think when people hear that, and I'm not putting words to people, but we speaking to an audience, she's just saying that, or it kind of minimizes it, right? Now, this young lady just said what she can remember from 5 to 18.
Yes.
She ain't
From
gave
her
you
word.
everything. We only been on her 49 minutes and some change.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't have enough time to just gotta walk through it. But then she said, I am thankful of my
Mm-hmm.
upbringing. Man, that was powerful. That ain't just saying something, putting lipstick on a pig,
Mm-hmm.
right? Carlos, you got something for me?
Yeah, man. And see, that's one thing that makes it so powerful. And thank you again for sharing. But if you paid attention to her as she was talking, she said 5 to 18. She didn't make it male or female. She said she made it to help you understand, to help the artist understand that she expressed what she went through. And there are many of you out there going through the same thing. And that's the beauty of it. She shows that there was a process that she began to understand. She came to a place and then she kept moving with that place. She just didn't settle for where she was at. And then she recognized that where she at was not the end. And you know what? I'm about to take this with me as I continue to grow. So then she understood that whatever you dealt with is something that moves with you. So if it moves with you, you need to take what works and what fixes it and move it with you as well. Because once you move from your life, guess what? We have seeds.
Yep.
And you want to make sure that your seeds see a way of dealing with some of these things. So that was just simply amazing right there. And again, I commend you. Just my heart goes out because just hearing a young lady talk about what she's gone through and then admit it fully and transparent and be in a place to where she's not afraid to say this is where I was. This is where I and this is how I moved from that point to this point, and I'm still moving. A lot of times we tend to want to grasp and get there, and then once we get kind of level off and we look like everybody else, we kind of want to pull back. And I'm really appreciative and listen to you talk. I'm like, I can see the ownership in it. Like, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yes.
And that's just a beautiful thing right there. Oh man, I mean, my heart just went out. I mean, I'm like, man, don't let me start crying on there. I'm trying to look hard, but
man,
wow,
if there are tears, they're tears of joy.
Yeah.
I am going to say this right now. I'm kind of hold your feet to the fire down. You got to come back, man.
Oh,
Okay.
we giving a choice. We giving a choice.
You have to be on this topic, but I think you have honestly helped a lot of people identify at least a road, a start.
Right.
Yeah.
Healing. It's another term we use. We heal. A wound. You said it. A wound will scab up.
Right.
But a scab is not a heal proper. But it'll eventually, with time, if you don't do nothing to it. But what you said, use the S word, scars. Remind us. Right. They're there. And so we have to be very careful what we quickly judge people on. We don't know people's story. We say this all the time. We don't know people's story and background. Even the people in our circles. I'm not talking about strangers. Of course, we don't know Diana. This is our my second time speaking to her. So on and so forth. But how many people, again, that's in our circle?
Yeah.
And can I get on the gas? I'm going to lose some friends, Carlos.
Get on.
I'm going to lose some friends on Facebook.
We're replacing.
How many people do we force to be silent? To be implicit because I don't want to look at myself.
Yeah.
Right.
See, because if I look at myself, the picture you helped paint me as, you're going to start asking too many questions. Loyalty, not love. That's why some people ask for loyalty.
Yeah.
Like, don't think people don't want love these days. I know that's a whole nother piece. Some people intentionally only want loyalty because it's convenient.
Easy.
Loyalty is a component of love. I don't have to have the full responsibility and accountability for the full thing. Just this one right here. This is all I respond for. It's intentional.
Yeah.
Especially when you live in a dynamic of when you're talking about parenting, right? Do as I say, not as I do, right? Don't question me. You know what I'm saying? This is my house. All this generational trauma. One thing I learned about my father was abusive because guess what? All my grandparents passed when I was a little one. But what I remember seeing the dysfunction, you talking about painting that picture down there, I remember some dysfunction of my grandfather, my daddy's daddy, to him. I didn't put that together because granddaddy now is a superhero. So I didn't put that together for a long time. I went to camp.
Yeah. Come on.
I'm mad at daddy, but daddy was taught just his name is James. He was also taught. And watch this. I was loyal to Papa. That's dysfunction at an early age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you don't even, you can't even begin to understand it. You just know them like your name. Here you go.
Right.
Now you sit on someone's couch and they try to unplug you and start talking about things like your name is not Diana. Your name is not Carlos. Your name is not
Right.
Jane. It's just that equivalent when you start pulling it. Wait a minute. I've been no what? No, that I would. Wow. That mask is real. When you see people use these things to mask their issues or what you call their vices, whatever term you want to use, quit rushing in being the judge. God got that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. If you can't make nobody better, leave them how they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful that through it all, God got the glory. God is still working. God is transitioning. God has protected your princess. And God, quite frankly, has given you so much more to now break that generational trauma. And even if it's not break, because sometimes that's a heavy responsibility, but change the trajectory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're steering a ship. Like, I mean, at least not gonna go there. I know we're gonna crash out there, but let me kind of
Right.
and maybe daughter can come along and we come along and before you know it, we can now start dealing with generational blessings, generational opportunities instead of that trauma. But we first have to recognize that trauma is actually real, man. Change don't happen to change happens, right? And I so appreciate you for setting the example of showing that you have to dig deep and look in that real mirror. You have to get uncomfortable with being, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because you never know when you go back, even to your limited memory, what you really have to watch this. You got to bring up her, but you can't bring the emotions back.
Right.
The emotion's not going to change it. And that's hard. Go to episode 1 when I was talking about my divorce. I'm thinking I'm good and everything. But when I realized just painting the picture, you would done that wrong. I'm on wet up. Like, wait a minute. It's been a long time. But that's trauma. And we need to quit minimizing that and making people, excuse how this sounds, swallow their own vomit.
Right. Yes.
Could you imagine that? This needs to come up. Girl, you'll be fine. Oh, this needs to come up. Boy, you'll be all right. Tough enough to be a man. Oh, how's it helping anybody?
Yeah.
But you my friend.
Right.
Big bro, uncle, so on and so forth. Dana, thank you so much for sharing your story. What I want to do, take some time now to, man, like I really feel like we've gotten to know each other a lot more, and there's a lot of synergy. And hopefully, we can talk offline.
Yeah.
Where are you now? Today, Thursday, October 24th, 9/28. Just in life in general, where are you now? In spite of everything that you shared with us a little up on the hour, where are you at today? If that makes sense.
So today, I'm getting better. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a process. It's just a process. But every day that I get up, I show gratitude. I thank the man above for waking me up. Every day I go outside, you know what I'm saying? I'm smiling a lot more, my face isn't as stoic as it normally is, but I'm getting better. I'm not all the way there, but I can feel a shift. So
okay. I mean, you know what? I did not know this was gonna happen. Quite frankly, I didn't know that Diana was gonna share this, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
But I thank God for the gift. I could tell by your post there is a real story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And remember Frankie and I was talking about that. I'm not talking about the art of writing and you got to be a writer. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for those who have a story and just in this medium, they use it. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You use it anyway. It's just like it because it hit. Like in social media, you see some stuff, laugh, like button, but there are just some things I think when people say if I call it your third eye, that's why I call it as a creative. or God giving you discernment, whatever you want to use. Like when you really, it's like, wait a minute. And I really do encourage people, that's definitely up to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you had an opportunity to just read some of the post that Dinah shares, you can tell it comes to the place. You can tell that it's a process, and you can tell, like you said, there is a better.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. And so I just appreciate you sharing that, man, because as much as we're sitting here and we're able to talk about it and where we're at in our journey, there are some people who haven't started.
Right.
There are some people still in their generational trauma. There
Mm-hmm.
are still people bonded with their trauma bond, right? Trying to work it out, trying to do the right thing. Again, right idea, wrong process. They think it's still. They think they can go and get help with each other. And it's like, baby, it's different. Y'all individually gonna have to go. Y'all can support each other, but y'all gonna go deeper. Or some people are still trying to make it worse and they really damage each other. Hurt people.
Yes.
Right. And so for us to sit here, children involved and things of that sort, that's very encouraging. And so I encourage you guys out there in the audience, man. It just starts with just having real conversation. Like Donna said, like I had to recognize first, can't nobody tell you. And don't think that you have to be one of these clinical terms that need the help. When we talk about mental wellness, mental wellness and mental illness can coexist in the same place. So in other words, you don't have to be an addict before you need the help.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to be a drug addict before you need the help. You don't have to have a gambling problem. No, sometimes just the fact, like Donna said, I know this ain't it. Sometimes just starting there and allowing our family and friends to have that conversation, allow them to have that self-reflection, and then you can paint the picture for what type of help you have. But again, don't make sure you don't leave God out of that thing.
Right.
Because then when it's all said and done, that's who's going to button it up. Like Philippians said, all things work together. For him, he has to get the glory. Else there is no healing.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no healing in a place. I don't care what you say and what. No disrespect. But there's no healing in a place where God cannot get the glory. One blank period, right? So I want to thank you, Dana, so much for sharing your story. Man, God, I hope that your schedule really allows you to come back on in some type of capacity, man. I have been humble.
Okay, thank you.
And I said that before. I have been very humble.
Yes.
For you to share your story. And then I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna wrap up. It didn't matter about her gender.
Bingo.
Her story did not care about her gender. So all this advice we trying to give with gender bias, a real man, a real woman, it didn't care about her gender. She was human. That was it. Right. So let's take that gender bias off the table, man, and get to some real solutions. You guys, this has been a great episode. They're not your type. They're your generational trauma pattern. We are thankful to have Diana here. We thank you for your service.
Yes.
And what you provided thus far. Definitely hug the princess for. Hope she's doing and will continue to be doing well. You guys continue to follow us. We will have this show up on YouTube, our official YouTube page, Unfiltered Kings Podcast. We are on Podbean. That is the app. Download it to your phone, man. Episode 1 is there already. We will be telling you guys when this one coming out, which is episode 2. Follow us, like us, share us. Please support us, man. We want to get this information out there. If this is not everybody's cup of tea, that's fine. But we do want to get it out there into the hands for those who we feel that can benefit from it. So definitely go on Facebook, follow our community, like and share and follow that. It definitely helps us on the back end.
Subscribe.
Instagram, TikTok, like I said, download the Podbean app. It's on Android and the Apple Store. Find us, follow us, and definitely be on the lookout for this episode. But in the meantime, man, I want to thank Carlos. Man, I want to thank Frank. Hope everything is going well with him. And again, a million thanks to you, Diana. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Okay, I look forward to it as well.
Okay, we're gonna cut the recording, and then we'll. Hold on. And this will be edited and whatnot.
Well,
we cut the recording, do a quick debriefing, Dan, and then we out your hair.
Okay.
Well, if we cut it, now I learned something. If I end it, it will end this session. So I'll just chop it.
Okay. So
we'll
I said that for it'll be a cue when you go back. And do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
my God,
man, this is
like Siri. When my counselor told me I'm a passive male. I'm a male who, because of the trauma I went through, I can resonate with females' feelings. So I express my emotions like a female would. So a lot of times they come off unbelievable as a guy. It's almost seemed like it come off like you trying to hit on somebody or whatnot. But I say all that to say, I wish I wanted to hug you because there was so much and similarities in my story. And I'm not one of the people, me too. It's like our story is individual, but from a conceptual standpoint, like, boy, you said something that I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand that. Like, it's one thing watching it, viewing it for fun or whatever, but when you done been there, like you say, you can hear it, you can smell it, like, oh,
yes.
Was I ready? And I love it.
All like this, like, like, you know what, you're right, yo.
Yeah.
I almost couldn't ask any questions. I was like,
yeah,
I could ask a question.
And it's so powerful because as men, when we share ours,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, now what can I say now? As a woman on here, and we have no idea. I'm so thankful that you were comfortable with this setting, right?
Yeah.
And so I give God the glory with that. But it shows it has nothing to do with gender.
No, it don't.
Right? There were some things in pocket. I wanted to really run because I'm like, we can line these things up, man, woman, boy, girl, whatever. Like, we got to get away from it. And the fact that you own it, the fact that you spoke on that spirituality, like I told you, we unfiltered, we won't stand on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we said in the beginning, we're not focused on who like us. We want to just get it in the hands of the right one. So I wanted to just get your thoughts, feedbacks, opinions, man. Like I'm so full and overwhelmed. Like I'm serious when I say that. Like virtual hug for real. Like
this was meaty.
Thank you.
It was so much meat on that bone. I'm just like, and I wanted to be very sensitive, not to. Even when I talk with clients, I try to make sure let them kind of sit where they want to sit and not be insensitive. Because it's not for a show. It's not for that shocking or whatnot. You're comfortable with what you want to share.
Yes.
And so I thank you for allowing me to kind of navigate that. But I wanted to see whatever feedback that you may have.
Feedback.
I don't necessarily really have any feedback. I think your show is a vibe, honestly. You guys are just super laid back, chill, and very welcoming. So I think it made it a little bit more easier for me to kind of just say in a sense what I wanted to say. And again, your questions, they were good questions. Because even I think I hesitated a little with some of the stuff, but it was just because expectation, right, of what you were going to ask. And but I think this is good. I think that it's dope that there's a podcast out there that is unfiltered, that doesn't kind of like just, like you said, make it all about man versus woman in a sense. So I'm grateful that I was able to be a part of one of your episodes. I'm honored to actually be able to speak and kind of bring a little bit of light over certain touchy subjects that a lot of people aren't necessarily ready for or aren't able to essentially speak on it themselves. There's a lot of me's out there. So man or woman, you get what I'm saying? So but I think it's nice for them to see a familiar face, right? So.
And see, I can say this now because I started to say this before the podcast, but I'm like, James, hold it. Because I'm a creative, y'all. And when I'm in when I'm passionate, like ask Carlos, my passion.
Yeah, he goes.
I love the title because the title will suggest we're going to talk about man and woman and relationship. And I love how you hinted on it.
I ain't got it right.
Right.
Like that's a slide in the picture. That ain't the whole picture.
Right.
Because so often we want to go in there with who man who drinking and you the reason why and you know and it ain't about that. Sometimes the stuff is just us.
Yes.
It ain't about women. Like even when I went to my counseling, not going for the tangent, when I went to divorce counseling, yeah, you cheated. But you got to look at something about your choice.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I want to talk about the hurt and pain. Yo, we will.
Right.
But who chose them?
Yeah. Okay, let me start in right there. That was one of the things that hit me when you were talking that made so much sense. And sometimes we don't catch that. It was never that you chose them, is that they fit a familiar that you were familiar with.
Right.
So instead of finding something you care about, you kind of fit with something you like, and then you go ask God to help me make this work. And God's like, but that's not
right.
What it look like. So
and what gets me, it was a nugget in there when you were talking about it was, to me, it was so powerful, Diana. The more I tried to help, the more he did, and then you broke it down.
Man.
Yeah.
I almost chunked this microphone.
Not the microphone.
So often we think being a good person, that sometimes we become too good of a good person.
I'm glad I'm recording this.
Yeah. That's why God can, and God sitting there like, you okay.
Yep.
And you know somebody, okay. All right. And we have been taught a real man, right? A real woman, your mate would. Man, we gotta get away from that, because that can be the furthering the mess.
Yeah.
The more you, hey baby, we need to, you know, baby gonna do what baby gonna do.
Right, that part. Yep.
And here's and this is a whole nother piece. He's somewhere in his trauma. See, we so quick to throw people, make them a bad person. Look, sometimes we have to move around. Bible does say that, but the reality of it is, but we both can't be in our trauma in the same space.
Yeah,
we can't. Yeah.
If I got a broke left leg, you got a broke left leg. No, somebody got to get the left leg fixed first.
Right.
Ooh, James, y'all know what? Y'all just hit something too. See, in order to recognize this trauma, you must understand what trauma is. And if you don't understand what trauma is, it's normal to you.
Right.
It's normality. It's if you don't see it as trauma, you consider it normal.
See, that's why I hate that term. That's why I hate that term flags.
Right.
Ain't nobody been to clinic, been to clinical. Ain't nobody says it got flag. Like
no PhD, no nothing.
We call flag just regular people's regular imperfections. They flag. That's why we can't identify the real ones.
Right.
And then, like Diana was saying, in the past, this stuff been taught to us, y'all.
Yeah.
It maybe wasn't taught like our ABCs, but subconsciously, to me, that's a deeper learning. That's a whole nother piece.
Yeah.
Right. And here we go. We get grown, and now we want to jump and be Dr. Phil and all of this. Your trauma looks different than my trauma.
Right.
How in the world can I hold you accountable? You done went deeper in front of strangers on this podcast than people have done with their family friend. Me and my frat brother, we were just talking about that last night. We went out to a cigar lounge and we were just talking about it transparent. Even in our fraternity, like, how can brothers be going through killing themselves? But they my brother. Shame on us. Shame on family and friends. And some of we learn to accept it, because guess what? Mama and them taught us that's what's right.
Yeah.
So man, this was good. Let me just put it like that. Thank you so much for the feedback.
Of course.
Really appreciate that. We really wanted to be intentional with that, to make sure that whatever you our guests want to share, that they share it on their own pace.
Right.
We typically do a debriefing, Diana, beforehand. We usually do it like we usually record on Tuesday and Thursday. So when we record, we usually like on Tuesday, we'll do a debrief for everybody, not scripted, but kind of get comfortable. And the fact that you came and just kicked the door down without a debrief, and that's why I was just like,
you know, you're coming back,
right? So
you're there, Jane. You know you're coming back, right?
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely be reaching out to you. We'll once
Okay.
we clean this up and things of that sort, we'll be reaching back out to you. Hopefully, you can do another show, and when definitely when it's up, we want you to be a part of marketing it also. So
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
one last thing, if you haven't joined our page, if you could go whenever you can. If I know tonight is late, I keep forgetting you're in Virginia.
Yeah, that's
but if
why
you can leave that feedback for us, we greatly appreciate it. All right, and hug little mama for us again.
Yeah, let her know she got.
Oh yeah, I will. Thank you guys so much.
Yes. All right, I'll be talking later. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All
Good
right,
night.
bye. Good night.